actually the last thing I would have thought I'd be making a video on today. I was gonna do a like midway through the first round update video where I go over my favorite matchups that we've seen so far, and just my overall view and take, I guess, on every single round in the playoffs. I also wanted to make a video about the OKC Thunder and the fact that they swept the Grizzlies and what that looks like for them. But before I've been able to make those videos or really put in the time to think about what I'm going to say in those videos, we saw the unfortunate events that just happened in the Milwaukee Bucks versus Indiana Pacers game. With that being Damian Lillard going down with an injury about halfway or a little bit more than halfway through the first quarter. And the rumors are, people are saying around the league that it is a torn Achilles. Now, there's been nothing official, right? We haven't seen any scans as of the time of recording. I don't know if this is 100% a torn Achilles from Damian Lillard, but even if it's not as intense as a torn Achilles or whatever, this is still terrible for them, and I feel like this video still needs to be made because it's also most likely the case that we're going to see the Pacers win this game. As of right now, I'm recording it with 5 minutes left in the third quarter, so there's a chance that maybe the Bucks come back and they take game. But I'm going to take the wild guess, the crazy prediction that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to lose this series. Overall, this has just been a depressing time for Milwaukee Bucks fans. I mean, thank God they won that championship in 2021 because I don't know what this team would look like if they never did. I think it was the year before Damian Lillard came to Milwaukee. I can't remember exactly when, but there was that moment where there were rumors about what is Giannis going to do? Is Giannis going to stay in Milwaukee? You know, this is after I think maybe 2 years or 1 year of them not winning the championship. I'm sorry if my timeline is all over the place. I just remember there was a moment where it wasn't 100% guaranteed whether or not he'd be signing an extension in Milwaukee, but they got Damian Lillard, they secured Damian Lillard there, and everything seemed to be up and bright and shiny for this team. And my God, it has just turned out to be hell. Last season, which was the first year they had Damian Lillard, there was like an eerie similar situation as there is with this incident today. I mean, it was actually 1 year ago today where Damian Lillard had an Achilles strain, I believe. Yeah, it was a strained Achilles. He was walking around in a boot, and there was some serious doubt over his availability for Game 4 of Pacers on Sunday. As crazy as it is, literally the exact day, 1 year from this tweet, the same matchup in the first round, the same game of the series, we didn't see him strain his Achilles, we saw him tear it. Now, what really sucks about this is not only obviously the fact that they can't really come back and do anything in this series against Indiana. They can't, try to make some crazy run even though they've been down 2-1. They want to try to do whatever. I mean, I guess there's a chance that they can come back, but it's bigger than that. And I feel like you can kind of tell by the tone of my voice in this video that this isn't just going to be like, oh, the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be in a rut for the next season or whatever. Like, I am genuinely concerned. I'm genuinely scared. This is like the end of Damian Lillard. Like, this is the last that we have seen of him playing Damian Lillard basketball. I mean, it was already kind of slowing down during his time with Milwaukee because just the entire situation is different. It was a weird click in the first place having him play alongside Giannis. Like, it's just been an interesting and like weird time, or just didn't go as we all expected when we mentally pair Damian Lillard with Giannis. So his game has already felt different, but he's been a, all-star these past 2 years that he's been in Milwaukee. I'm genuinely scared that that is no longer going to be the case. And you know why? Not only did he come back from this insane blood clot situation, he came back so fast. Like, so fast where everyone said he has super healing abilities. I was saying they had witch doctors in Milwaukee. Like, things were looking so good for Milwaukee fans out there. And then this happens. And this is something where at 34 years old, I don't necessarily know how bad the blood clot situation is, right? I don't know if that's something that sticks around or lingers around in a player or a person. I'm not sure. I'm going to assume that if he was playing in this series so quickly, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's not something that's going to hinder the rest of his career. But a torn Achilles, I'm seeing people say he's not going to play for a majority or maybe even the entire next season. I don't know how legit that is. I don't know how, confirm that is, but there is going to be a solid chance that he misses a good portion of the season or just misses a lot of time in general. And at 34 years old, he'll be 35 by the time the season starts back up again, coming off of a torn Achilles, already not playing like the Damian Lillard we once knew. He might be done not playing basketball, but being an all-star. Like, this could be the last season that we see Damian Lillard as an all-star player. Then you also have to think, does Giannis stick around? Like, if we're putting Damian Lillard's career aside and not, talking about his future and how, that might look, if we're talking about the Milwaukee Bucks, what they look like, what their future is, Giannis was already considering staying before Damian Lillard even got there. Now he's looking at this going, you're telling me my sidekick My number 2 is a 35-year-old Damian Lillard coming off of a torn Achilles. I'm getting my ass out of here. I'm going to a contender. Giannis is 30 years old himself, right? And he's obviously a lot more of a physical guy. Who knows how long he can go for. So that's another big concern where, you know, maybe Giannis is a little bit quick to jump the gun and tries to get out before things get really, really bad in Milwaukee, because they obviously haven't gone to plan these past 2 years. I think things also get dangerous for Milwaukee when you look at what they've done to the team. They traded away AJ, I believe was his name, to the Washington Wizards, who has been like a bright young talent for Washington, and he's been really good there. So you kind of start to look at it as like, damn, was it worth trading this young, fun guy that, not to say would be like the future of the franchise in the, you know, in the long run, but trading him and Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma, who has been nothing, a complete nothing burger, like Tony Snell memes on my timeline about him. You start to look at moves like that and it's like, damn, I guess the future of this franchise really relies on what package you get in return for Giannis. But then there's a side that isn't as, you know, doomerish as I've been before, where maybe Giannis says, you know what, I know we're going through a hard time, but I'm gonna stick around with this franchise. Milwaukee is my home. And maybe he was just saying that stuff in the past to try to pressure the front office into making a move like they did for Damian Lillard or whatever it is. You know, maybe there's that. As for Dame and his situation, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard for me to find anything to be optimistic about. There is nothing about his situation that makes me sit here and go, you know what, just maybe he can come back and, you know, he can be the Damian Lillard we once knew, because he was already struggling with the team in the first place. I mean, I know he was coming back from the blood clot stuff, and that was obviously a huge like reason for why his performance in the playoffs wasn't nearly as good as, you know, he's known for being. But the Bucks in general, it's just the Damian Lillard experiment has failed, and so now with him coming off of this torn Achilles, if I'm not mistaken, he has a player option. Like, things are looking so bad for Milwaukee, and it's actually sad to see. If anything, my biggest wish for this Bucks team, if they do decide to do some crazy rebuild or, you know, trade Giannis while his value is so high and get a bunch of picks and stuff in return, please keep his ass in the Western Conference. I'm not trying to go on a little tangent here, but oh my God, watching these playoffs, when you're looking at the West compared to the East right now, this shit is ridiculous. And that's not to say that the Eastern Conference is easy by any means. They still have some crazy hard matchups, but I mean, come on. The Western Conference is insane. Just keep Giannis out East. That's all I ask. But yeah, man, I really just want to sit here and talk about that situation. Hopefully by the time this video comes out, we get news that the injury isn't as bad, right? Hopefully it's not a torn Achilles. Hopefully it's just something lighter. Maybe it's something that only keeps him out for the off season and he can come back a little bit early on into next year. I don't really know at the time of recording. All I know is that things are not looking good for Milwaukee. Even if it is a light injury and it's not something crazy, this is still insanely bad. Not good at all. I wouldn't be surprised, nor would I be, you know, mad or upset at Giannis if he decides, yeah, it's time for me to move on. I can't be spending the rest of my years on a losing team. I need to go and try to win now. But then again, that same thinking is what got Dame in Milwaukee in the first place. So that being said, sorry if this video was a little bit weird or random or just me rambling. Those are just my opinions and takes on this situation for the Milwaukee Bucks, Damian Lillard and Giannis, all of their, you know, futures. Whether you agree or disagree with me, leave your take down in the comments below. I read and respond to everybody. I am going to make some more lighthearted, fun videos talking about the playoffs here in a bit. So once again, while you're down in the comments, be sure to like and subscribe as well, as that does help out the channel a ton. And like I said already, I read all the comments down below. I can't wait to respond to you guys. I love seeing what you guys have to say. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Later.